Welcome to the Choc and Roll Show with me, Ollie the Choc. We have got with us today none other than Ben Eastwood. Choc and Roll. Welcome to the Choc Studio with me, Ollie the Choc.
You gotta feel it in your soul. You gotta believe it, you gotta know. You gotta wake up and dream and go get it. A visionary knows no limit. Do it big so your name be remembered. Play your cards like the hand of a winner. Eat your breakfast but make room for dinner. Got a hunger for success and my dreams getting bigger. You're gonna dream big, you better dream large. Blocking lanes on the boulevard. Calling shots, control charge. You're gonna dream big, you better dream large. You're gonna live life like a renegade. Come to the top of your piece of fame. Calling shots, control charge. You're gonna dream big, you better dream large. 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 You're gonna dream big, you better dream large.
All you need is love. Aha! It's nearly that time of year, that time for romance. And I've got my lover with me.
Yeah.
My man. Ben
I love that.
is my co-podcaster. We have a podcast that I've talked about many, many times on this show called Going In Deep. And Ben's joining me today to make some Valentines themed chocolate lollipops. Really easy, something that you can do at home. I'll just tell you what ingredients that you need. And yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a chat. It's going to be delicious chocolates and delicious conversation at the same time. By the way, guess who's going to be watching this show tonight live? Guess who's going to be watching? Me, because I pre-recorded this morning. So now for me, it's this morning, but for you, it's 5 o'clock. So hello, happy hump day. Welcome to the Choc and Roll Show. We're live at 5. This has been a long time coming, really, to get Ben on here because Ben and I are in regular communication on voice notes on WhatsApp. We record the podcast Going In Deep. We've done over 20 episodes. We've reached over 1,000 people. We've reached how many countries and continents? Like
In the teens, nearly 20s.
Nearly 20 countries. So yeah, it's going really well. We're not even a year down the line, and we've probably not pushed it as much as we could. And this year we're going to really go for it because we're really proud of it, aren't we?
Yeah, massively proud of it.
Just so that everyone can get an idea of who this beautiful man is. Ben, actually, this is the first question I'm going to ask you. What have you been doing this morning?
I've been training,
yeah. Boxing?
Boxing training,
yeah.
In with my coach.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit rushed getting over it, but
you pack so much in, like I do, pack so much into your day.
Yeah.
So today I've got this. We're recording an episode of the Going In Deep podcast, which is the first episode of the year. So this is like a little bit of a precursor to that. Yeah. This is warming us up with a bit of chocolates. But yeah, I've got a real life event at Thornton Manor at the Wirral later. So when you guys are watching this, I will have just finished my event and I'll be tuning in to watch the show. But Ben, I know the answer to this, but for the viewers' benefit, who are you? What are you all about? That sounded very Alan Partridge, didn't it? Who are you and what are you all about?
So I'm Ben. I'm a mindset and self-development coach. I've known Ollie for a long time, but we connected about just over a year ago now before we started to create Going In Deep. And yeah, we just connected from that. So I kind of work with people. I co-own a gym in Stockport, but then I went into mindset and self-development to help people develop in life, achieve more, break through barriers, overcome obstacles and things from the past, just to have a successful life going forward.
Referring to drawing back your past experiences, things that you've overcome, how you've done that in order to help other people to do the same.
100%,
And that must be a very rewarding thing to do.
It is massively, mate,
especially when you start to see people change in confidence and
achieve in life. Positive difference in actions. And love it. Yeah, it's beautiful, man.
And that is a little sample of what the Going In Deep podcast is right there. That's a little snippet. So if you enjoyed that, go and check out the Going In Deep podcast. So yeah, for me, Ben is focused, driven, ambitious, and that's infectious for me, being in regular contact with Ben. But even without that, just seeing what Ben does on social media, it gives me energy. You know, think, well, if he can be up at 5 o'clock doing all of his fitness and his boxing and cold water therapy and all of that, then what excuse have I got? Molly May got a lot of stick recently for saying that we've all got the same 24 hours in a day. And I think she's got a point, because it's true, we do. It's like what we do with that time. Yeah. And I think that is what she meant by that. But I understand that people could misinterpret that, or not misinterpret it, have their own take on it, But we're just going to have some fun playing with chocolate, and I'm sure we'll be going in deep a little bit as well. So it's quite a good mix, this. I wasn't sure if a Valentine's special of going in deep would work quite the same, because it might have different connotation. But Valentine's Choc and Roll show is okay. So who better than to join me than Mr. Eastwood, New Era Mindset Coach. So hello everyone, drop us a comment, let me know you're watching. I'm going to be in the comments with you, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on who's commenting, who's sharing. Please do share this onto your Facebook, share this onto your groups. If you're watching it on Twitter, retweet it. If you are enjoying this, then please do. And hopefully you get some inspo, and you will create these at home. All you need to create your own chocolate lollies is milk, white or dark chocolate. You just need to melt it. I would recommend in the microwave with a plastic microwavable bowl. Ideally, you can use a glass bowl or any bowl, as long as it's microwave safe, but plastic's better because it doesn't retain the heat for quite as long. Then you're going to cool it down by adding solid pieces of chocolate until you've got a nice cool liquid, which I've got here, quite convenient. They've got my machine, about 20 kilos of liquid chocolate on tap. And I'm just going to grab some of that. But let me show you some of these lollies that I made. Some I made earlier. The pretzel ones. Okay, pretzels are falling off. Really easy to do. That's my favourite. That was nice, isn't it?
That's beautiful. That's amazing.
So I took some time doing that one. I like that. I like it a lot. Little Lego men. I'll never let go of you. Yeah, you like that.
Wow.
So thank you, Pinterest, for that inspo. So marshmallows, M&Ms, pretzels, sea salt, crushed Oreo, all of those things, and I'll show you how it's done. Very, very easy. Some melted chocolate, but not just melted, tempered chocolate, like I've got in the bag here. Piping bags, you can get those in the supermarket, or you could try and improvise with like a sandwich bag or something. As long as you've got a plastic bag that's got a corner, ideally without a flap at the side. A little tip for you there. Get it into the corner, twist it here, tie it in a knot. I'll give you one of these benefits so you can have a bit of a play with it, can't you?
In terms of the chocolate itself, if we're going to do this at home, like what chocolate do you recommend? You might have said this before. So
no, of course no. Any questions that you ask, Ben, I think would be good, because people might be wondering that as well at home. I'm
going to get in trouble now if I don't make one of these for Rach.
Oh, really?
So I'm going to have to.
See, I told you, love is in the air, isn't it?
I'm going to have to think outside the box.
I love it.
Chocolate-wise, what would you recommend if we're going to get it?
The best quality you can get, but you know what, you can get good chocolate in Aldi these days in the supermarket. So just not cooking chocolate, just as long as it's proper chocolate, ideally for me, Belgian or Swiss. And as long as you temper it, by that I mean you melt it and you cool it down by adding some broken pieces of chocolate until the chocolate feels cool to touch on your lip. At that point, you can get it in your piping bag. You can choc and roll. I'll tell you what, Ben, you have a bit of a play with that one. All I've done there is pipe the outline and filled it in so that it's a solid shape. You'll need a bit more than that, so I'll give you some more in a minute. And then you're going to put a lollipop stick in and roll it so that the top of the stick is covered, and then simply just put any toppings on you want. Sort of reminds me of my chocolate pizzas, these actually, but
chocolate pizzas.
I just think
your creativity is unbelievable, mate.
I remember when I came up with the idea of chocolate pizzas. Perhaps had a little bit of resistance to it at first, thinking, is that a bit too wacky? Well, people loved it. I ended up doing the Wilmslow markets and just making chocolate pizzas all day, and people coming over, kids were making the pizzas, and off they went. Very happy. So
I remember when you were on Test Pack Lunch, though, and like the amount of like random examples you gave of what you can make with chocolate, and it's amazing that no one really turns their nose up at any of them, because I think say with chocolate, anyone's happy to experiment, aren't they?
So you're talking about flavours there, I think, aren't you? Because we were talking about like crisps and chocolate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the mixes with it and stuff like that. That's phenomenal, man.
Yeah, I'm always looking for different combinations. I think people at school, I remember, used to eat crisps and chocolate together. So I thought, well, that's got to be a good one. It's a bit like pretzels in chocolate. It's that salt and chocolate together. I think on Steph's packed lunch we might have mentioned cheese and onion crisps with chocolate, and I can't remember what the response was to that, but
Oh, they loved it.
it wasn't too bad actually, was it? Surprisingly. I did Parmesan and Chocolate, so I did an event with Gino De Campo.
Yes.
About 2 years ago now. His restaurant in Manchester, and the flavoured chocolates were Italian-inspired, balsamic, Parmesan. I thought, well, I can't really do like fresh Parmesan, so I grated and grilled the Parmesan in a pan, and then allowed it to cool, and it was like a Parmesan crumb, and sprinkled that on the chocolate, a bit like how we're doing this here, and it was really good. It had that crunch, that saltiness, but I do like to shock, because I think the shock kind of lures people in. They want to know more. It's exciting. They want to try it, then, don't they? Wasabi.
Oof, yeah, when you got wasabi.
Yeah. Did you eat one of those by accident?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you tricked me. You said, try these.
I tricked you. That's not like me, is it? So these little molds are great. I don't know whether anyone's seen these. This is actually an ice cube tray. So a Lego ice cube tray. Sorry, James. Look at that, baby. Screenshot that and send it me. That's going to be a good little picture, that. So yeah, I really want to eat that now because it's melting in my fingers. Do you know when chocolate melts in your hand and you just go, oh, I'm not going to put it down. I'm just going to eat it. So I'm just going to demold these. As I say, ice cube tray, perfect for chocolate making. So if you're ever looking for molds, sometimes what I do is rather than search chocolate molds in Google or other search engines, I search ice cube trays. So a little Lego man or woman, might be a lady. Actually, I think this one is a man, but he's going to have a little love hearts. This is going to be me, a little chocolate Lego me. A little love heart on the top. I'm not going to show you that because it'll all drip down and won't have the same effect.
Where do you get most of your inspiration from for the ideas? Because it's you're very creative in what you do.
Thank you, mate.
Do you think the theme, then, or did it just come into your head? I think
you know what it is. It's what excites me. If something excites me, that's an idea, or there could be an idea there. So, for example, when Kim bought me those Air Force One trainers for my birthday, which I showed on last week's show. By the way, if you didn't see last week's show, we made chocolate Converse and the choc noodle and stuff. So yeah, this sort of thing excites me. You can go back and watch it. The trainers that I got with the choc and roll, and that inspired me. And then I thought, whether I could do something with that and make a chocolate Air Force One or similar. And then I just go off looking for molds or thinking, could I make this without a mold? Like the skull, for example, I couldn't find a mold for that. So I just thought, you know what? Why don't I just dunk it in chocolate? You don't have to be able to eat it. It's chocolate art, ultimately. In fact, I'm going to do that now because that's what it's all about, isn't it, James? Yeah.
that shows a lot about you in terms of your passion for this, doesn't it? Because, like you say, you're not making that to eat or trying to prove what can be created out of chocolate.
It's more like
a passion for you, isn't it?
It's like if it's in my mind, then I've kind of got to do it. Like, yeah, it doesn't have to be something that I sell or that is eaten.
Because I remember that there's a program like ages ago. I think his name's Heston.
Yeah, Heston's great, isn't he?
Creating random things out of food.
Yes.
But for the look and the creativity out of it.
Oh yeah.
That just reminds me of everything that you do.
I love that. That's very
creative, mate.
Very nice to be compared to that to Heston. He's a genius. But I think sometimes I'll play around with different themes. Like, could I make something out of chocolate that works? Maybe.
So you go into it with no limits, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
That might not work. I might not do it. But you're like,
I think there's always something that can be done. So I think what's challenged me often is people asking, could I make them something? Like, could they order something, commission it? And at first I will answer, well, have I got that mold? And then I'll think, well, if I don't have the mold for it, what can I do around that theme? Yeah. And I love it when people just say, I'll tell you what, this is the theme. I'll leave it with you.
Yeah, then it's down to you.
Yeah, and they just trust my creativity. So there we go, a chocolate skull head. Something that you could try at home, and very easy. And that'll last. Like, you could stick that on your shelf and it will stay there for years.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, it will. As long as it's not affected by light or sunlight, then it will. It will last for ages. This is a slightly smaller lolly than my last Lego one, so I've got to really squeeze this on. But give this a go at home, guys. Just melt a little bit of chocolate, cool it down, piping bags, grease-proof paper, lollipop sticks.
I love this guy. I can do it with Jack's for the wife.
Yeah, that'd be nice as a Valentine's gift from both of you.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's
I love that.
Quite a unique aspect.
So Ben and I both became dads last year, so it was a really big year, wasn't it?
It's crazy.
And it's like just a gift that keeps on giving. You know, today's an amazing day, but the highlight of my day will be sat with Romy giving her milk this morning, and yeah, it's just magic, isn't it? Magic. And by the way, on that reminds me of something. So Kim, my wife's got her shop over here on Chocolate Street, and on Saturday she had a really busy day. Excuse me, lots of people coming and going, and a lovely family came in, and I think they might be watching. Are you watching Kane and Brooke, and Coco the dog? It's a great name, very kind of chocolatey name, although it's more Coco without the A, so Coco Chanel. But yeah, Mum and Dad, David and Rona, hello, thank you for joining us live, because I know that you'll be here, but thank you for coming to the shop on Saturday. I've got a picture to share with you, and you can see me there with Kane and Brooke and Coco as well. I think James might be able to pull that up for you whilst I just drizzle some chocolate over the marshmallows just for fun. Yeah, so let us know if you are watching, boys and girls, and we will see you soon, I'm sure. That's the beauty of coming up to see Kim on Chocolate Street. Children got a lollipop. So I was actually out giving out free lollies, and you saw my affirmations, Ben, before, didn't you?
Yeah,
and
so
yeah. Oh, did you? Yeah. Oh, nice one. I've got some broken affirmations down there, so they're not as powerful. But I went out onto the canal. I went out onto the streets, just giving out free chocolate. And I was literally just shouting, "Free chocolate, anybody?" Some people were dubious and thought, "Who's this strange man? Don't take chocolate from him. Don't talk to strangers." I get that. But some people trusted me. Not sure why. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, a lot of people did. They took the lollies and it put a smile on people's faces. So the outcome was really positive. I think 'cause I was out on my one wheel as well. People were kind of like intrigued by what's that, and then I'm giving them chocolate, and I think they thought that I was trying to promote something. Okay. But I said, well, actually, the chocolate shop's not open today, so I'm not actually trying to promote. I'm just some more chocolate, some sticks. Yeah, but I think people think, well, you don't get anything for free, and you don't often these days, do you? So it was really nice to get that reaction. And what was great about it was that I got talking to people. So it's like an icebreaker. I love that. So I was thinking I should just take out some little Lego men with me and just give them out to people, just because it breaks that barrier.
Yeah.
And yeah, we should talk more. Right, so I'll give you some white chocolate as well, Ben, and got some dark. So you can play around with all different types of chocolate with your lollies. Just sprinkle on the marshmallows, things like M&Ms, or you can get a little bit more creative. And this was like an old school tattoo design. So literally, I just went on Google, I think, or Pinterest, and just put in old school tattoo design. And I wouldn't say I copied it. I would say I took inspiration from a few that I like. That's what I tend to do when I'm making something. I won't just look at one image. I will look at several and create almost like a bit of a mood board in my head, and then translate that into A, what I can do and sort of what I can do well, and B, just what I think is going to look the best. That's what chocolate is for me, is art. It's not just something that you eat. As much as I love eating chocolate, it is the art, definitely. So I'll get you some white chocolate on the go, Ben. Make as many lollies as you want. Rach, make for Rach and Jax, not the dogs, obviously, because they can't give dogs chocolate, can you?
They probably hear, but no, you're right.
The video that I was doing, by the way, was for my my videography course that I'm doing at the moment for Casey Neistat. Well, not for him, I'm doing it for me, but yeah, so you might have seen that trailer that I posted of me talking about the video. And if you haven't, that's on my Instagram, and I posted it on my personal Facebook page as well. But yeah, there's a little bit of a trailer, and I'm producing the whole video, so you'll see the reaction of people, and a little bit of a spy cam going on in my pocket. Oh, wow. So we'll see people's reactions when they're receiving the free chocolates. So that's exciting. What else is exciting about this week is I've been dancing. Speaking to you the other day, Ben, wasn't it?
Yes,
So,
love this.
what's this
Love
about?
this.
He's like, I'm intrigued. So Strictly Seashell is the name of the event, and it's in about 8 weeks' time. It's at the Mere Hotel. It's a big ball, and there'll be hundreds of people watching, and I'll be there dancing, and I'm scared. And even just thinking about that, it fills me with what is that for you? Is it excitement? Is it fear? I'm gonna say it's excitement. That's what I've got to have on the day: excitement, and not.
I think
not
you can
fear.
have it all. I can
Yeah,
have
both.
excitement. But how are you? Are you more? Because this is an interesting one. Because obviously you are used to being in front of cameras and around people.
Yeah.
So do you think there's a nerve element in terms of your dancing technique, or is it being in front of the people, or
being in front of the people?
Right, okay.
It's a combination of the two. It's kind of like because I wasn't shy and embarrassed dancing with my dance partner Vicky.
Yeah.
About getting something wrong. Wasn't too worried about that. I wasn't worried about what she might think. If I was getting something wrong, I was more annoyed at myself because I want to nail this. I want to get it right.
Yeah.
But dancing in front of the people, I am worried about making mistakes and just looking silly. And because I reckon by that point, I should know it like the back of my hand. And part of this process for me is going to be visualizing that routine as like in bed at night when I wake up in the morning. I'm gonna play the music in my headphones and just listen to the tracks. That's a little bit of a spoiler alert there. 2 tracks. And then I'm just going to visualize the steps and the routine, and I'm hoping that visualization is as good as the actual rehearsal itself, so I can almost get a few extra lessons in the simulation in my brain.
That's amazing.
So that's what that's my theory. That's my method, and
that's a really good tip for people as well, because I think a lot of people potentially wouldn't do that, but mental rehearsal is so important.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what you're doing there.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Like you say, it's like
rehearsal.
when you haven't got time to practically do it, you're mentally doing it, which is just as strong.
Just as strong. And what would you apply that to in either what you do or what some of your clients maybe do?
Well, it's just to say it's understanding what your outcome is, your goal, your vision,
right.
and then having clarity on it, being able to visualize it.
Yeah,
which for a lot of people is that mental block. Because they struggle to, and again, it's lack of belief in themselves.
I mean, it makes sense when I think about the dancing. It's like if I can visualize doing the dance well, if I can perfectly visualize it without any barriers or resistance to that, then chances are I can do it and I will do it.
Yeah.
But if I can't visualize it, then the nerves, the confidence isn't going to be there. The execution probably isn't. Perhaps it's going to fail. So I guess, that makes a lot of sense, actually, doesn't it?
And I think you'd potentially do that with chocolate as well. Like you're talking about there, finding things that you want to create, and you think about this in your head, which is, again, mental rehearsal.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it comes,
I mean, I do, when I'm doing like Steph's Pack Lunch or Blue Pizza, I always will do the rehearsal. But if I've done a rehearsal or at least a bit of a walkthrough, I'll then go away and I'll go and be like on my own and almost like just close my eyes and visualize that process, almost like where my hands are going to go. And I suppose that is like a dance, actually, when I think about it, because my hands have got to go with the piping bags. And if it's like a routine, so if I've got presenters each side, I've got to make sure they've got their bags, but at the right time, so that the chocolate isn't setting like these bags are now. So that's timing like dance. And so those movements, there's a synchronicity to that and a kind of a mapping out of that process in your head beforehand. See, I told you we were going to go in.
and like, just to ask you questions.
Yeah, of course.
So obviously, I've watched on Steph's Pack Lunch, I've watched on Blue Peter as well, and then this show has come to fruition for yourself.
Yes.
Do you feel that strengthened in terms of understanding how you wanted the Choc and Roll show to be? Have you taken certain bits or?
Sorry, could you repeat that, Ben?
Yeah, no. So because obviously you've been on Steph's Pack Lunch where you are doing this on their show, Blue Peter as well, and now this is yours. So you're not on someone's show, doing something for them where they're asking you to do something. This is you and your creativity.
So how is that different?
Yeah, how does that feel to you? And is that exciting?
I like both equally. I think like the Steph's Pack Lunch and the live TV, national TV, that's where I really want to be and be doing more of that. So this is really good practice for that. this is really good practice for like just being myself and doing things how I want to do them. There's no time constraints on this. So in a way, well, there is a little bit of a time constraint on this, but not as much as there is in live TV. So live TV, you might have like 3.5 minutes, and you've got the conversation like this. You've also got to get the making done. You've also got to communicate with the viewer. So there's a number of things that I'm trying to tick off. And yeah, if I miss one of those things, quite fundamental, and yeah, I would feel that there was a flaw in it. So yeah, I think that's really good practice doing the live stuff, because it has to be so concise. It's a different dynamic. So this is, I like both. I like the creativity and the flow of this, being able to kind of go where I want, but I also like the time constraints of the live TV, because that's just really good practice. Yeah.
The goal is for this to be live TV.
But this is, this why not?
Roadshow live on TV.
But then you said that like YouTube is global, isn't it?
Whereas
is. Like national TV is national, obviously. Because the
the
potential of this is
because the reason I was saying that is because, like you say, with YouTube, you reach, like you say, you already work with America and China. You work all over the world.
Yeah, that's true.
And that the thing with YouTube is you reach them, whereas like you say, English or British national television hasn't got the absolute scope.
True.
It might be played in some countries, but
that's true.
YouTube,
you might reach more people on the day, but on YouTube, that's what's quite exciting about doing the show, and I think doing it every single week and keep turning up. Hopefully, you guys keep turning up as well, knowing that I'll be here and wondering who I'm going to be here with and what we're going to be doing. So. Yeah, I think there's a huge potential here, and I'm excited for that this year. I think going into this year felt like and we'll definitely come on to this on the podcast. So again, if you're enjoying this, jump onto the Going in Deep podcast, particularly the first episode of the new series, the second series. I think going into the new year for me felt like such a strong start, and I know you said the same, didn't you, about going into a new year with such a clear focus on what it is you want to do, achieve, and where you go. So direction is
especially how powerful 2021 was for us both. But the evolution of this studio has been phenomenal.
100%.
Well, coming into 2022, it was all set.
Yes.
So then it's the next vision, the next step.
I think you're right. Like this time last year, this wasn't here. There's so much that wasn't here, like the OO app. I wasn't involved with the OO app and presenting on there. I probably wasn't quite as part of Steph's Packed Lunch as I feel I am now, particularly after the last one and being called as a resident chocolatier and stuff. Romy wasn't here. You know, it's like there's so many things that I can look back and just be so grateful for now. But it's a different time.
And we talked a bit on voice notes recently about kind of decisions.
Yes.
I think we're both strong in terms of to have had such a successful 2021. Required us to make just some decisions that potentially were more focused around our ambitions.
Yeah, exactly. Our goals and our ambitions.
So it's been
in line with that.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's quite interesting.
It was a learning curve for like what it is that things that take you away from that.
Yeah.
And controlling those things and just I think that's discipline, isn't it? Having the discipline to acknowledge and realize what serves you and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So last year was a big year for learning. Big year. And by the way, mentioned about the studio. I just wanted to. James is going to hate this, by the way. I just wanted to talk about James for a second because we've been on this journey of setting up the studio, and like James has come in and Harriet and Matt, and we've created lots of magic. And I look back at the content last year; it's just phenomenal. I'm super proud of it, and I've loved working with all of them. And I think like. I messaged you and you picked up on this about last week with James and just how much he's applied himself. And that's been a huge boost when somebody else believes in you as well. Like James believes in me, believes in this, and having that belief building from other people, but also just, you loved how I'd commented on just how proud I was and am of James and how far he's come with all this, because we have conversations after the live. Usually after the live, because this is a bit of frantic kind of moments before the live, usually tech problems. And after the live, it's big relief. And then me and James have a chat, and James is like, what about this next week? What about that? And I just love the enthusiasm and the dedication that James has shown.
He's got, I remember the voice note you shared with me as well. And what I love about that is you've got like a team.
Yeah.
And there's no pedestal within that because you want the show to grow. Everyone feels part of it.
Yeah. That's true.
You encourage ideas and thrive off it, man.
Yeah, exactly. If somebody's got an idea, I'm not like closing it down. I'll just be like, yeah, whatever, let's change this. Let's do it. And
you can't ask for a better person to work with than that. Do you know what I mean? I think
appreciate that.
You've got an idea, let's roll with it. Let's see what works. Because at
Yeah,
the end of the day, you've got these guys coming in with their specialities. So James knows what he's doing on that side.
Exactly.
He has an idea, let's roll with it.
You could see that when you came in, just how focused James was on the.
Yeah, like all the setup there, it's just phenomenal.
It's not just the cameras and the angles; it's the lighting and the temperature, the warmth of the lighting, and
And again, so sometimes a lot of people forget that when they're watching the show like this. They just think,
what goes on
the camera, but they don't see all the behind bits of you all setting up. And it's like say, tech issues are phenomenal. It's like mind blowing. Like we have on the podcast and all we're setting up is mics.
Oh my god!
And every week we look at each other to say like what's going on.
Exactly.
But like what we've got here now, 3 or 4 cameras, mics, lights.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be set for the right views, and this is what goes into
this. Yeah. So I quite like the fact I can show that on my Instagram stories, like a little bit of the authenticity of like behind the scenes and what really goes on. I'm really proud of it. Like you said, it was an idea this time last year, and I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm really loving this show. I'm just going to double check on my show notes, because I know we are going to jump on and record a Going in Deep podcast. I think this has been a brilliant way of getting us into the mood. But also, I hope you've enjoyed watching the lollipop making, and I hope you'll be feeling inspired to create your own either Valentines or just any lollies with toppings of your choice. So make sure you share those pics with me. Use the hashtag Choc and Roll, and I can't wait to see everyone's. I can't wait to see yours as well, Ben. I know I'll send you back with some kits, and you can do this at home. Yeah. So if anyone does want kits, I do sell those as well.
How do you get the kits on your website?
Just on olliethechoc.com, and you can get the lollipop kits, the bars, the chocolate pizzas, the mobile phones. So yeah, it's all there. It's all there, baby. But yeah, I think we'll also stick in the comments my donation link to the Seashell Trust charity for my Strictly Seashell. So join me, follow my journey on Facebook and Instagram stories, and you can see hopefully my progress. I've got a long way to go, but I'm excited and committed to it, and ready to throw some shapes.
I love it.
But guys, that is all for now. Get yourself some Lego figure molds, create some I'll never Lego with you lollies. I don't sell these. These are just for you to make at home. This is to give you some ideas. Thank you for joining me. There's only one thing left to say. And Ben, you can join me in saying this if you know what I'm going to say. This is the clue right there. And you can do this with me at home or in the comments if you can find the right emojis. So that is peace, love, choc and roll. Thank you very much.